2021 or newer Ford Bronco off-road and want some insurance that your critical components are going to stay in good condition, this AEV Dana M220 rear differential skid plate is a good solution. Now this is definitely for the Bronco owner who's taking tougher trails, whether that's overlanding or rock crawling, and either has had a scare with obstacles coming in contact with the differential or simply just wants to avoid that scenario altogether. This is a lighter weight form-fitting choice which offers some of the most clearance that you can get out of a diff skid if you are looking for a very functional option when it comes to premium protection. I do also want to note that this does exclude the Raptor model, so just make sure that you're getting the right one for your Bronco. Now the rear differential and pinion are crucial when it comes to your Bronco's drivability, so protecting it at all costs, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere, is highly necessary. Now the skid plate is a form-fitting option that kind of cradles both the differential and the pinion, providing a thick layer of protection which will save your diff in the event that you do come down on an obstacle or a hazard gets thrown in its way, making sure that you can get out of the woods and drive yourself home rather than being stuck. Now with it being more conformed, it's also smaller than other choices, making it lighter weight if you are conscious about how much weight that you're adding to your build, and it is going to stay out of the way compared to some lower hanging choices. Now it even has some punch drain holes in the build to make sure that this is cleanable and drainable, so you're not going to have to worry about it getting super gunked up over time. This is made of a premium grade 4mm thick stamped steel material, which gives the skid plate its form around the differential in addition to the strength thanks to the rigidity of the material. Now on top it has a black powder coat finish that will fight against rust over time and other smaller surface damage that comes in contact with the skid plate. This kit also comes with all of the hardware that's required for a complete bolt-on installation process and doesn't require any modification or drilling to the undercarriage. This is about $450, which is pretty average for this type of skid plate. And what I think stands out most about this choice is the compact build, allowing for a lot of clearance, as well as the durability of the materials and steel itself, and being super easy to install, making it a really easy way to get some solid protection for your Bronco. Now, if you're looking for a worthwhile investment to keep your Bronco up and running while you're off-road, then this is definitely a great option to consider. Install here is super simple at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. No drilling or modification, again, is required for the install, so it should at most take about an hour to get into place. At this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can bolt this up to your Bronco at home. So that wraps it up for me. Let's get into the install.
For this install, you will need an impact and a 15mm socket. Today we're going to be installing a differential skid plate on our Bronco, so let's get started. All right, so we've got our vehicle up in the air. Now you can easily do this install on the ground. You do not need to lift your vehicle with this. This is simply to give you a better idea of what's going on. The first thing we're going to do is grab our provided U-bolts and set those on our differential. The easiest way to do that is we've got hoses and lines. We're going to bring these up from underneath and then just kind of roll them over into position. And you want your threaded part of your U-bolts to be facing straight down like so. Next, we're going to get our skid plate into position. We're going to line up our U-bolts through the mounting holes. Now, you can grab an extra set of hands if you need some help with this, but you at least want to get one side through, like so. And we'll take our provided flange nuts. We'll get the first side loosely in place. And this can be a little bit tricky. Once we get the first two in, that's going to be able to at least hold it from falling, and we'll get the other side in as well. So now once you have your U-bolts and your nuts loosely in place, we're going to install our front support bracket. There is a notch on the passenger side where this is going to hook into, and it's going to fold over to this opening to line up with our welded nut on the other side. You're going to have to bring it in straight on with that hook. I'm going to get it to sit all the way in. It is a very tight clearance. It's a goes through, should line up. Now once we have that through, we're going to install our supplied bolt. Now that we have everything loosely in place, we'll come back and tighten everything down. Now we're going to start by tightening down our U-bolts. You do want to tighten these in alternative patterns so they are tightened down evenly. So we'll grab our 15 mil socket on our impact and do that. And once you have those tightened down, we'll tighten down our front support bolt, which is also our 15 millimeter socket. And once you got everything tightened down, you do want to torque it down to the manufacturer recommended specifications, and you're good to go. Alrighty, that about wraps up our review and install of our AEV Dana M220 rear differential skid plate for your 21 to current Bronco. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.